Yep. That might help that a little bit. Yeah, nice. Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Yep, the teach. And Justin, I'm sorry, but a lot of the contemporary stuff just doesn't do it. I saw them at home, my yellow nighttime glasses, but I forgot to grab them. No.
Side by side, we stand like brothers, one for all and all together.
Okay, well let's go through some symptoms here. Okay. Here's the list of symptoms of that. Now, it doesn't have to meet all of these symptoms for that to be a problem. No. And I'm having that every morning when I come out, especially, right? And then it says here that it goes away when the noises go away when it gets warm. Okay, so that doesn't mean the problem's gone. It just means the noise is gone. So we need to, yes, we do. And so that's why that says a lot of people ignore those, because they just think it's just a normal sound of their vehicle warming up. Well, when you combine the hard starting with that sound, that's valves. Yes, that is valves. And if your valves are not adjusted or properly and you ignore them, you know what happens. I'm going to quiz you here. Read off the list of what can happen. Okay, well, then the valves can become bent, which allows hot blow-by gases to get by them, causes them to chip. Yep, then you have a valve job ahead of you, whereas if you stay on it and stay on your vehicle maintenance, that doesn't happen. Then that doesn't happen. So, you see why I'm telling you not to cut corners anymore on people? Don't depend all on that. That's not even a Band-Aid. That doesn't fix the actual problem. It may make it silent, but it doesn't actually fix your valves. It doesn't readjust them for you. So you actually need to get in there and do the work, Tracy. And do the work. One of these days you're going to get that. You're going to get that these don't always do the work. Next available red light, I'm going to need to stop in the lane and then go back there and look at that tire. I'm going to need to go back out there and look at it. Yeah. If I need to reinflate it, I'll need to be ready to do that. Yep. There. That felt pretty good right there. That felt fine right there. Yeah, that felt fine right there. Yeah, we're going this way. Okay, and I'm going to set the cruise. No, we're not. I have to stop every now and then just check that tire. It keeps on going down little by little, but I brought the box with me this time, so I can reinflate it right here. Yeah, no, I mean that's the only issue with the valves. Just the valves that's the only issue we're having right now with this. I'm not sure that actually is the issue. So what I'm going to do is write the map.